he's moving up to heavyweight, Pereira. He really started off as a middleweight. Now, granted, he's a much bigger man now, and I don't think there's any world in which he could go back down to 185 pounds. But still, you're going from, I was able to make middleweight to now I'm fighting at heavyweight, where these men are huge. And again, Ciryl Gane is used to the threat of nasty power coming his way in every fight he's ever had.
So, in my opinion, a big factor of why he's knocking these guys out is because he's a lot bigger than them. And a guy like Ciryl Gane, who's used to taking punches off big heavyweights, like he didn't get hurt off Francis Ngannou for 5 rounds, which is one of the biggest punches in the division.
Look at the head movement that he had against Tom Aspinall. Look at the speed of the shot. And that's another thing that Pereira's going to have to be careful of. You're not used to moving around that big kind of body, you know, so you will get tired faster. My son Callum, you know, he went on a bit of a weight loss journey, lost around 35 pounds. We went for a run after he lost the weight, and my God, he was like a different man. He was like a different animal, right? His cardio was 10 times better, because when you've got an extra bit of weight on you, if Pereira puts on about 40 pounds, something like that, that means he's operating inside the octagon with essentially a 40-pound backpack on. Yeah, sure enough, it's spread evenly all over the body, but even still, it is going to slow you down and it is going to tax the cardiovascular system. But that doesn't mean Alex Pereira can't land that big shot, okay? It doesn't mean that he can't knock out Ciryl Gane, but I don't think that he would be the type of guy to go out there and beat Ciryl Gane over 5 rounds in a kickboxing matchup.
I've seen this many times with guys. They change weight divisions, especially when they go up. And a lot of guys, we've seen this many times. Once they make the step up, it's not that they are not good enough. I think, not with everybody, but a lot of guys, they go, oh, I can almost take my foot off the pedal a little with the diet, take my foot off the pedal with training, because I don't have to do all that work to make sure I make the weight. And sometimes you can tell that in their fighting styles. You know, they move up a weight and they immediately go, I can relax a little now because the weight cut's not going to be that bad. I've moved up in weight, and I can tell you this, moving up in weight is a lot harder than going down over the long run. So that is a very big question.
Honestly, I would put him above Jon Jones if he gets this win.
Wow.
Because here's the reason why. There's a couple reasons, but the number one reason why is he didn't come up just fighting MMA. He came up kickboxing. He's had to stuff people when they're grappling. These guys have been grappling for a long period of time. These guys have been wrestling for a long period of time, and they couldn't get him down. They couldn't control him. They couldn't submit him. They couldn't dominate him, and he was able to get wins over them. Like, anybody can look at him and go, look, the best way to beat him is to take him down. People have tried. Some of them got him down. Some couldn't hold him down. But also, too, jumping from 85 to 205 is a 20-pound difference. And then jumping from 205 into heavyweight, and he's going to be a tweener. He'll be a 145-pound or 245-pound heavyweight, and Ciryl Gane's cutting weight to make heavyweight, or somewhere around there. He's about that 265 mark.
As much as I love Alex Pereira, and as nasty as he is when he starts to really unleash and let that power go, he is hittable. And I feel like sometimes the fact that he is hittable is the trap, right? Because you go into it, but you don't see what's coming back, and he has the power to make you pay. So I feel like it's by design that he does make himself that hittable. But when you're at heavyweight and you have somebody that can hit with that kind of power, you don't know if you're going to recover from being hit like that. And not for nothing, like I watch some of these Alex Pereira videos that come on, these sparring videos that come on, right? And you know, he puts in work. Like I seen him just knock people out in practice and stuff like that, but I've also seen him get some work on him. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen some guys, bigger guys, some good movement that moves really well, and he's able to hit them and catch them and stuff like that. And granted, you know, they got on these 16-ounce gloves on and stuff like that, but you know, it looks to me like that could be something that Ciryl Gane can exploit.
Yeah, I feel like Ciryl's going to be hard to knock out in the first round because he does stick and move. He is such an experienced kickboxer. He's not going to sit there and trade with Pereira. He's gonna jab, he's going to move, and he bounces around, like you said, a light guy.
His movement, this is crazy to say, like this take or not, his movement is better than Izzy's movement because it floats versus Izzy is a pivotal. He's going to move in a stiffer way, right? This guy floats on some Ali shit like that. It's like art wise, right?
Yeah. I don't think he gets past Ciryl Gane. I think that weight is real. You know, and Ciryl Gane, he's a stick and move guy. Could he 100%. Anybody, in particular in that division. Okay. But nobody has really finished Ciryl Gane, bro. And his movements is very problematic. I just don't see any wrestling from him, which Pereira could have some. But the dude could thump, dude. And I will say this too. Pereira also does get hit tomorrow. Now, can you take a heavyweight's punch? Look at that. Look at that little highlight that a little practice that they had with that big Cuban. The Cuban was bigger than him, heavier than him. Dude, he was popping off on the dude that got cut by the UFC. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is size does matter, and that's a fucking pause.
He's a different striker. That's where I think the problems for Pereira can come in. Gane's not going to stand there. He's not your typical heavyweight that stands and bang. He moves like a middleweight. Yeah. And that's why him and Aspinall, in the short time the fight went on, was so interesting because both of them are moving on their feet. So that's going to be interesting to see how Alex Pereira, firstly, does he have that one punch stiff knockout power which he has at heavyweight? Yes, I do think so. I 100% believe so. But it's very contrasting styles. I can't wait. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be.
Well, it's going to be an interesting fight, though. I think Alex Pereira is very tough. He's big enough. He's a heavyweight. But in this scenario, the position shifted a little bit because Ciryl Gane here come more with a strategy of a lighter person because he moves a lot, he's fast and this. And I think Alex Pereira will be like more stiff, stable and strong, solid. Ciryl will be more fast, moving around as is his technique. He's good at that. And then it's going to be very difficult to Alex Pereira to even get close to the distance to figure out what he can do, like just to get in the distance, you know, to get close to that, to close that distance, which Ciryl will be managing very good to keep the distance, pick apart, get him frustrated. He's good at that. So I think he's a very good matchup for Ciryl.
But I even told this to Jon, that Jon wasn't to submit Ciryl Gane. I'm like, bro, that's your biggest threat, man. Even ahead of Francis at that time when Francis was there. And he was just like, why? It's because this dude's agile, man. Like he sticks and moves. He's not gonna. It's like playing cat and mouse with the heavyweight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Francis Ngannou. I mean, Ciryl Gane could fight back. His lateral movements. Like say, you know, go back and watch that Tom fight. This is how he was able to puzzle Tom because everybody comes here with Tom. You know what I'm saying? And finally, when somebody's just here with the movement, it's like, bro, he's not a stationary target no more. It's not just based on power, but techniques and tactics. That's something that Ciryl Gane does have.
Stuff. But what if Pereira wins and you have been a champion in 3 weight classes? That is crazy. That's crazy. Because this was only supposed to be the guy that was getting his first title fight because he had fought Izzy before. This was not supposed to be. This is a crazy story, the Alex Pereira story.
I mean, 185 to 205, that's a 20-pound jump, which is insane, especially when you consider that in boxing, most of the weight classes go by like 3 pounds, something like that. 185 to 205, that's the craziest jump, okay? That's 20 pounds. That's what I had to do. I went the opposite way. Now the next jump is 205 to 265 pounds, a potential 60-pound jump. Now, just because it hasn't been done doesn't mean it can't be done, but I would think it would be much more likely, let's say Ilia Topuria, 45-pound champ, 55-pound champ, and then a 70 champ, but even that's a 15-pound weight jump as well.
Well, I think, yes, size matter, but I think Pereira has a decent size for heavyweight. We are not talking about a guy that is out there walking at 200 pounds or 180. No, this is a big guy. This is a guy that usually cut from maybe 230, if not more. So you just need to put a little bit. I think even from the fight day, there might be like same weight. because Ciryl is weighing around 245, 247. So and then Pereira is not far from there. You just have to put a little bit. He's already a heavyweight. He just cut a lot of weight to go down to light heavyweight. Even when he was middleweight, he was cutting a lot.
You know, and Alex, to me, we have this conversation after the White House card. If he beats Ciryl Gane, without a doubt, he's number one. I mean, you could make the argument if Alex Pereira, I don't care if you want to split hairs over the undisputed championship or the interim championship. If you want to split hairs about that, that's on you. But if somebody can capture 3 UFC belts in 3 different weight classes, you have thrust yourself into the conversation as greatest of all time, not of the decade. We're talking all time.
Pereira is just a guy that's going to do anything. He just is a dog, and he wants to fight the best, and he'll fight the best at any weight class. It really is amazing to watch an old school road warrior like that in today's mixed martial arts. Alex Pereira is one of those guys that says, show me the weight, I'll show up and I'll give you a fight.
Listen, I think this is a fantastic fight. I'm not counting anyone out here. I'm not counting Alex Pereira out here because Alex Pereira does have the power to really change things. And listen, he is definitely, your confidence is at his all-time high. Listen, no one can tell you anything about your abilities and what you can or can't do. Because if that was the case, then we felt this way when Alex Pereira said he was wanting to go to light heavyweight. We felt this way. We don't know how he would do. No, he dominated that weight class. So I'm not going to feel that way about him going to heavyweight, especially when that heavyweight division right now is kind of struggling with the depth in the talent that they have. So I think this is a good thing for that heavyweight division to throw Alex Pereira in the mix there.